Remember back in the Fellowship of the Ring, at the Council of Elrond, after Frodo and the other hobbits had already traveled so far to bring the ring to this council to decide what to do. They start to understand what the ring is. This is the One Ring. This is the ring of power, Isildur's bane. This is the ring that could bring an end to Middle-earth. And they know what they must do. The elves, the hobbits, the wizard, the men, the dwarves, they all know what has to happen. They need to bring an end to this dark power. But exactly how that end is going to happen, there's some argument. Boromir starts to say, well, why do we need to destroy the ring? Why can't we use the ring for our own benefit? We could use the ring for good. But he's reminded that anyone who tries to use the ring for good, eventually it will destroy them. The ring has only one master, and it is always trying to get back to Sauron. So what happens? Well, what is natural? They begin to argue. They begin to fight about who is going to take this ring. Why? Because they're caught up in centuries-old arguments about dwarves and elves and men, and nobody can trust each other. And so as this argument is heating up, as people are getting more and more in the face of others, then the dark power begins to grow. And there is one person that understands what is happening: Frodo. He sees the ring already eating at each of the members. And so what does he do? He stands up and he says, I will take it. I will take the ring to Mordor. I will destroy it. What a beautiful example of generosity. The generosity that Frodo shows is not a simple matter of saying, I'll help you out. Or, hey, I've got an extra $5, I can help you out with lunch. I can pay for that for you. What Frodo is doing is he is giving of himself in a way that he has never been tested before, in a way that he doesn't know if he will actually be able to bring the task to its completion. The generosity that Frodo shows is a generosity rooted in trust. He trusts that he has been able to take the ring this far, and maybe he will be able to take it further. But as he says, I do not know the way. And this is where generosity starts to build, starts to grow, starts to expand beyond ourselves. When we are generous, we help other people to be generous as well. And so Gandalf, the other hobbits, a man, an elf, a dwarf, they come together and they form the Fellowship. It is from that one act of generosity that Frodo showed by saying that he will take the ring, he will destroy it, that it brought out generosity in others. When we consider how generosity works in our faith, well, first of all, we know that generosity is one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. When the Holy Spirit is present within us, we are able to give of ourselves in ways that we don't really know how we are going to fulfill what is asked of us. I mean, think of Mary. Think of when the angel Gabriel came to Mary and asked her to be the mother of God. That was a difficult day. It was a glorious day, but it was difficult. The angel was asking her not just to be a mother, not just to be the mother of God, but the angel was asking her to enter into a life that she could not turn back on. I mean, here she is, unmarried and pregnant. That's a problem. And so when she tries to raise Jesus, everybody knows that she got pregnant out of wedlock. And that was not something that was easy back in Mary's time. It's not easy now. And yet there was that generosity of bringing forth her son, Jesus. Mary gives us a wonderful example of how to be generous in our own lives. We don't have to know how it's all going to end. We just have to know that God is inviting us to a new challenge, a new life, and say yes.